welcome back everybody. This is Ian Chiquino with another StarCraft 2 commentary for you from HMTV. Now, let me introduce our players on the bottom right side of the map. In the blue, it's going to be the Zerg player TSL Symbol. TSL Symbol is a, seems to be a Code S regular these days in GSL. Such a top-notch Zerg player. He always seems to be just almost close enough to get to the GSL finals. It seems like he's almost always going to win it every season, but fortunately hasn't got there yet. But it wouldn't surprise me if he does in the future. So got a top-notch Zerg player here. And his opponent on the top left side of the map, or sorry, yeah, top left side of the map, in the red, it's going to be StarTales Bomber. Now this Terran player, this is a macro Terran player if there ever has been one. This guy can just macro like nobody's business. He seems to just be able to make more stuff than anyone else, even Zerg players included. He's another one of those top-notch Terran players, Korean Terran players. So we got some ace players here. Hopefully they'll have a good match for us here on Ohana. Pretty fun map, 2v2 map. It's got two Zaldnak towers here in the middle, one on each player's side of the map. You know, there is a possibility for a third to go down for the Terran player. Zerg obviously has a pretty easy third to take here as well. But he does have to deal with the rocks here. If a Zerg player is going to take the third, he does have to kill these rocks. Otherwise, he can cause himself to be kind of out of position if a Terran player moves into the third and he doesn't have these rocks down. He's forced to come in from behind, and that's just not very pretty. And look, Bomber is already going to go for a bunker. Now, this is only going to be a one barracks play, so it will get scouted out. He's going to force a lot of drones to be pulled here. The VC Symbol not taking any chances with this. He's just going to completely go straight for it, and Bomber, of course, is going to be forced to cancel that and fall back. So he loses a couple minerals there. Caused a lot of lost mining time, though. You can see here the hatchery isn't even done yet, so these drones are going to have to go all the way back home. And I think overall, you know, Bomber lost, what was it, 25 minerals doing that. Lost 25 minerals, you know, just building that, but you can see Symbol still not mining with this many workers, 10 workers. He definitely would have mined more than 25 minerals for that, so a great trade there from Bomber. But Symbol, you know, maybe he's a little shaken up about having to play this match. I'm not quite sure. It's hard to get inside his head, but took no chances there. Bomber setting up his expansion out in the open. Now, one thing Bomber does is that it's just weird. You know, almost every single Terran player will wall off. You know, they'll throw in the first supply depot here, and then a barracks here, then another supply depot, and do a wall off. Or they'll just go for, you know, the supply depot, you know, command center first, and then another supply depot for a wall off. But Bomber is just one of those Terrans that's just like, nah, I don't need to wall off. I want to build my supply depot here. Now, you may ask, why would they do that? Why would they take a risk? Well, there's a small, very minute benefit for building a supply depot this close to your mineral line. It's the fact that whenever you pull a SCV off mining, you can just go right here, build it, and then go back. So you don't lose the mining time of having to walk from here to here and back. It's very, very minute, but coming from a super macro player like Bomber, I'm not really surprised that he is the type of player that would do that. So this SCV will be able to make it all the way home, saved by the Marines. And those Zerglings will be forced to give up that Zaldnak tower. Bomber is making a couple barracks here. Another command center. Look, it's already... yeah, he started that third command center before he even made the two extra barracks here. So Bomber really looking to play a macro game here. Not surprised at all. Symbol, though, 2 gases at his natural. Hasn't yet taken any at his main. We'll see what he's going to do with this gas count up here. He has speed starting right now. You know, at this point, Bomber could be a little weak to some pressure. Bomber doesn't have much of defense here so far, but it's hard to say what Symbol's going to do. You know, Symbol is one of those players that seems like he can do most anything, but, you know, knowing the type of player Bomber is and the type of player Symbol is, I wouldn't be surprised if Symbol goes for an aggressive play, you know, try to bust Bomber, take him down. And with the dropping of this Roach Warren, you know, that's kind of reinforcing that in my mind that we're going to see Symbol play aggressive here. And it's going to come down to, you know, can Bomber deal with that? Now, I think Bomber just scouted the bottom left there, still hasn't seen the third. That's critical. If it's 7 minutes in the game, your opponent still hasn't made a third as a Zerg player, and you have made a third, you got to be thinking, okay, get ready because stuff may be getting a little bit nasty here. So he's already throwing down another bunker. Smart play here from Bomber. He knows that there's some action going to be coming his way. We can see, look, as his scan goes down, he sees a lot of units being produced here. Unfortunately, he doesn't really know those are roaches, but we have 10 roaches on the way. Speed going to be done. 12 Zerglings and a Baneling nest over here. This is the production facilities you need to do a lot of damage to a bomber who's going to try and macro up. And look at this, another bunker going to go down, and a supply depot wall going here at the top of the ramp. Now he's going to build the wall. Bomber's thinking, you know that wall I didn't make earlier? That's going to be pretty useful whenever all these roaches come, all these Banelings come. And Bomber, once again, going to sneak another SCV down here in the bottom left. This is just going to confirm his suspicion, but he doesn't even need to wait for that. The Marine in the middle does see it. He sees the roaches. He sees the Banelings being morphed here. And I'm really surprised Symbol didn't clear this out to begin with, and he just gave away all of this. But he doesn't even matter. He's going to go straight in. Baneling's going to go straight for the bunker. The bunker will fall. Actually, it doesn't fall. Oh, no, he really needs to take that out super fast. The SCVs will repair it. No, they do not get in time. The other bunker will go down. But maybe not. Maybe he's just going to run those roaches straight past there. Banelings need to connect with those SCVs. Oh, a couple of them go down there, and that just bought him enough time to take out that bunker. 2 bunkers have gone down. A couple SCVs have died there. Roaches getting in the back. More bunkers being placed down. Forced to cancel another one here in the back. And TSL Symbol is waiting for some more Banelings to pop up here to continue this pressure. But, you know, Symbol really needs to deal a lot of damage here to stay in the game. We see he's making drones behind this, so this is not going to be the whole attack here. This game will go on, even if Symbol decides that he hasn't done enough damage here. And he's doing a decent amount of damage here. Another bunker goes down. A lot of Marines die. Supply 60 versus 46. So there's only 3 roaches left. That's not going to be enough to do any more aggression. These guys are probably going to die all the way walking back home. Smart idea to turn around there, try and get any kills you can. But so let's take a look at where the state of the game is at this point. We've got Bomber with this 3 command centers, so he can easily rebuild all those workers. You know, he's down to 33. He ended up losing 16, which is a pretty hefty number. He is behind, but, you know, you got to remember, he's got the triple mule. He's got triple mule from his orbitals. He's behind in workers, but he does have siege tech. Siege tech is really close to being done, so he's got a nice tech lead on his opponent. His opponent still hasn't got to layer tech yet. Another hatchery being built here. Double evolution chamber. More than likely, we'll see Symbol take a 3rd pretty soon. The Zerglings are going to scout out the 3rd down here and not see much of anything. Bomber seems like he's going to transition into the Marine tank play, or at least the bio tank play, with a couple of medevacs built in there. He's got 1 on the way. He hasn't actually started the 2nd armory upgrade, and I think that's just a mistake on his part. There's no reason not to have started that by now. He's gotten more than enough minerals to do it. There we go. Okay. So I think that was just a little bit of a timing mistake there from Bomber. But anyways, it's going to go down. It's not going to hurt him too bad. Siege tank is up. Bomber, of course, is going to take down those rocks. As I said earlier, you need to take down the rocks here on Ohana if you're going to plan on taking a 3rd. It's just kind of mandatory. Now, we see Symbol here with the Scout Zergling. He's going to see the 3rd. That's going to let him know, okay, Bomber's going to do what Bomber's going to do. He's going to take that 3rd. And that's going to be useful. And another Scout Zergling over here for Symbol. Symbol has got some great Zerglings here on the map. Look on the right side, checking for drops. One on the left. He's going to see these units moving forward. And a Bomber is now pushing forward. How much damage is Bomber going to be able to do here? It's hard to say. Bomber will hit with this +1 timing with these attack upgrade, but the tanks are going to siege up maybe a little bit too late. The Banelings need to connect, but they're not connecting. They're connecting with the siege tank shells, and all of them go down. Bomber loses all his tanks. I think that was a pretty good trade for Symbol. You know, taking out those 3 tanks was the most valuable part of his army. He really was probably hoping he could have connected with those Banelings a little bit better on those bio units, but didn't work out for him. But anyways, he's probably pretty happy with that. Just drop that siege tank number so that way later on, you know, you don't want that Terran player to get the massive get the massive siege tank count later on in the game. That'll just make Banelings almost completely useless. Infestors, the research is done. 5 Infestors coming out. More drones being produced. He's going to try and saturate that 3rd base over there on the left side of the map. Roach speed still hasn't been researched yet. I'm curious if he's going to make any more roaches the rest of this game, or if it's just going to be you know, type of Zergling Infestor play, and maybe slow tech into Broodlords. Symbol can, you know, kind of sit on 3 bases for a while, sit on those Infestors, and get up to Broodlord tech if he really wants to. Just kind of keep Bomber busy. But Bomber, once he starts to get his production going, he is going to have a lot of Marines coming out here. Look at this, even more barracks being produced. These are probably going to have reactors on them more than likely. He's got the 1 starport making the medevacs. He doesn't need that. He doesn't really have enough money right now to build a reactor on that. But medevac drop going down on the right, but the Zergling will be able to scout it. Oh, I don't know if he saw it or not. Again, didn't get there in time. Burrowed Banelings here. Oh, no, that's scary. And a Zergling run by on the top right side of the map. The Zerglings are going to go in there, run straight into a bunker, not accomplish too much, but the Zerglings will get into the natural, and they will manage to kill a couple SCVs. Might go down here. Oh, not too many died, but the drop on the right just now goes down, but there's Zerglings all over the place. Both players attempting to harass their opponent, and neither accomplishing too much there, so both players testing the waters. Another run by. Oh, actually, this isn't a run by. These are infestors. Sneaky infestors running straight in there. So many infested swarm eggs being dropped here, and if he can manage to take out maybe that orbital command, that would be huge. All the SCVs are pulled just in the nick of time there. They get out of there. The reactors are going to die. And Symbol is just kind of attacking whatever here. The barracks is going to go down. We have an engagement here on the left side. At the same time, the siege tanks don't get sieged up in time. The Banelings do run straight into the siege tanks, though. But, oh, no, he's got some proto Banelings. So he did connect. He's going to connect with those. Oh, that's what we're looking for. That's what those Banelings do. Completely gets shut down, and he manages to take out the command center at the natural. You know, those were two huge moments there. But we have a drop here in the main. So much action going on in this game. The medevac goes down. Bomber, feeling like he has to do something, goes down with that drop, and he burrows the queen. I've got a soft spot in my heart for every Zerg player who gets burrow and actually uses it. That was awesome. But two huge events right there. You know, killing this natural, that maybe that sidetracked bomber, and he wasn't prepared for this attack on the left. He did a lot of damage. Those first Baneling engagements weren't really that good because, of course, he ran straight into siege tanks with them, but the Baneling landmine was such a money shot. Trash bombers almost the entirety of his army right there, and at that point Symbol was probably a huge banana grin on its face, and Symbol's got to be feeling pretty good about that. Fourth base going down on the right side of the map. Bomber going to siege up here, going to take control of that Zolnaga tower. It's going to be pretty useful. He's going to get that extra vision to allow his siege tanks to shoot at maximum range.
Additional supply depots required.
Bomber is, like I was saying this earlier, Bomber is somehow ahead in supply of a Zerg player after losing a lot of SCVs. He lost a command center. He lost a huge army in that. He's still ahead in supply. I don't know how he does it, guys. It's crazy. We have a big attack here. You know, Symbol wants to take that supply and drop it. A lot of Marine reinforcements have shown up. The split is good. The infestors, I think they're out of energy. Yep, they are. Oh, a little bit, actually not enough to do a fungal there. And Bomber is just going to continue the push. It's like, what is Bomber, what kind of magic is Bomber doing that he's so far ahead in supply, making 11 Marines at a time, blasting forward here, scanning, going to take out these overlords. These 1-2 Marines are going to force to fall back. Bomber with amazing positioning of his army, just going to continue to blast his way into the third here, and Symbol just needs another miraculous thing to happen to just like deal with this army. The beach balls are thrown down from those infested Terran. The Zerglings are going to run forward. They're going to be able to take out both of those siege tanks. We have more in the back. The Zerglings should be able to push up these Marines, but the reinforcements from Bomber are still coming. Bomber's army is just like a stream of units just flooding out of his base at all times, and once his Bomber army starts pushing across the map as a Terran player, he does not let up until he dies. This guy is such a beast at the macro game, and he's showing it right now. You know, Symbol trying to keep up the point, building 36 Zerglings. He's not even close to getting 3-3 yet. He really needs to have that to be able to trash these Marines. The Marines are just now getting 2-2. Zerglings will take out the siege tank on the right. Zerglings, Terran will drop. Medevacs are accumulating over here. Haven't died yet. Kind of low on energy. Siege tanks will finally get killed, but that's not enough. Bomber's got some more units streaming in here. These infestors are getting low on energy. He does get a couple. Oh, pretty good fungal there. Gets a couple medevacs. The Marines are split pretty well, and Bomber's going to focus. Kill him. He needs to kill those infestors. He cannot let Symbol build up his infestor count. That would just be too bad for him at this point. He doesn't want to trade energy for Marines. That's just not cost effective ever. And this hatchery looks like it's going to fall. Symbol may just give it up. The drones hiding back in the back of the base, going to get away from this, but it seems like Bomber's aware of that. It's not going to happen. And Symbol, with an amazing move here, goes back to the reinforcement line of Bomber, and is going to get a couple free kills here. Bomber does lose the siege tank, loses a couple Marines here, but it's pretty quick on the draw, deals that. And Symbol GG's. Bomber, sweet. Bomber's crazy, guys. I tell you this, like, whenever I say it, he's like the macro god. He's just crazy. Let me look at his production here. He's like, look at all these Marines he's producing at once. He just does so much with so little. And he lost, look, it's 20 minutes into the game. He lost his command center how long ago? So he's been on 2 bases while the Zerg player's been on 3. And he's outproducing him and microing so well, just continues the pressure. Bomber, guys. This dude is so much fun to watch in TvZ. One of my favorite matchups to watch him just destroy a Zerg player. It's like the roles are reversed. Usually it's the Zerg player. It's like, the swarm is invading the Terran player. But with Bomber, he's like, not today, guys, not today. So great game there. Wow, it was such an action-packed game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Pretty fun match. If you want to check out more StarCraft 2 commentaries, you can find more on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/EonChikino. If you don't know how to spell Eon Chikino, it's over there on the right side of your screen, the overlay. So thank you guys for watching, and have a happy holidays. See you later.